Parang deja vu, right? Did- yeah. Anyway, the podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Dey Rose.
What up, y'all?
What up, y'all? You are probably... How are you, Dey?
I'm good. I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
I've been good. You know what? I am very proud of you. I don't know if I had expressed that enough. But I see you most of the time, especially pag namimiss ko yung kanta natin, Nasa'yo.
Nasa'yo.
And naalala ko yun. That was the first time I met you during the recording of that song when you recorded it, right? Yeah. And I just want our listeners and viewers to know that you are my farthest origin guest. Yon. How many miles away?
At least 1,000 miles.
1,000 miles. Where is that?
That's in Vancouver, Canada, BC.
Oh my God. Before you, I think the farthest guest I ever had, and he had bragging rights to it, was Wolf Hemora, the drummer of the band Wolfgang, who I think your dad is a fan of. We'll talk about your dad later. I wanna.
Okay. Oh yeah, you'll love that.
Fan ako ng daddy mo eh. Yeah. Ako ang nagla-like palagi ng pictures at videos ng tatay mo. Yeah. Yeah, I told you about that also. Yeah, I'm a fan of your dad, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But I bet your dad is a fan of Wolfgang. And Wolf had the longest commute coming to Paco's place. But you just erased
what
that.
was it?
65 miles.
By drive?
By drive.
Oh, okay.
Ikaw 1,000 miles by drive. By drive.
By drive ba?
You can drive to You can,
right. I don't know how long, but...
Yeah, I think we did that. Inabot kami ng 18 hours. Straight. Well, hindi. Kumakaliwa rin kami. Kumakanan kami. Kidding aside, technically straight. Okay. Yeah. So, how long have you been in Canada? Vancouver?
Well, I've been in Canada at least 10 years in general. And then Vancouver, maybe 4 years.
Wow.
Because I used to live in Squamish.
Where is Squamish?
It's a small town between Vancouver and Whistler, BC.
So, is it more north or close to Whistler?
Closer to Whistler. So
malamig.
Yeah, it's a lot colder.
Because I remember taking off my shirt dun mismo sa ski place sa
so
Whistler. Yeah. I did that. I was there and I did that at night for like 10 seconds, I think more.
Brave.
Pero there are people who actually go cut a hole in the ice and actually dip, di ba?
Yeah, and also every New Year we do this polar bear swim where people go to the coldest beach and then they just go for a swim on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day.
Have you tried that?
Nope.
Are you planning to do that?
Maybe one day, but I don't know. It's cold. It's really cold. I find it cold here. That's why I'm wearing
You find it cold here, and you are from
Vancouver.
A colder place.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway, I'm excited to have you here because one of the reasons why I started Paco's Place is so that I could give back to the community. And you know, like when I was growing up, I had a dream, I had a goal, and I was very fortunate enough to be helped by the late Teddy Diaz of the Dawn. We were 15, 16 when he picked us up and mentored us. And sabi ko, pagtanda ko, di pala pagtanda ko, paglaki ko. I was going to do the same thing, to give back, to pay it forward. And I'm proud of you because you're living the dream. And I'm quite honored to be part of one of the songs that you sang and competed with. Thank you. Written by
Miss Odette Quesada.
Miss Odette. Tell us about that. How did you end up representing? How did you end up going to the Philippines to represent Odette's song?
It was not planned.
Okay.
It was, so when I tell people the story, most of my friends kind of go, "What? That's crazy. How did that even happen?"
How did it happen?
Because all of a sudden, my social media started to blow up with everything that I was doing, and everyone back home was like, "What is going on with you?" So
Did you keep this a secret, ba?
No, not. I didn't even mean to keep it a secret. It just as it was happening, I was posting on social media, and my friends and family were like, "What's going on with you now?" And so then, there's that. And how it started was, it was last year, December 2018.
Okay.
It was. And I was pretty much working. I wasn't living downtown Vancouver at the time. I was still living maybe 20 minutes drive
From downtown.
And I was working almost every night. And because my work is at nighttime as a sound tech.
Wow.
And
at a bar?
at a bar, yeah, a live music venue.
Not the Fortune Club, huh?
No.
No. We played I played the Fortune Club, by the way. I did play the Fortune Club.
I've played there once, but
where was that? The Chinatown, di ba?
yeah, that's the Chinatown. Okay. No, I work at Gilton Company in Gastown, so shout out to my work friends. I miss them a lot.
Nice.
But yeah, so I was working there, and I was also moving at the time from Burnaby to downtown. So what I would do is I'd be at home in Burnaby, and when I go to work, I would pack stuff with me that I was moving to the new place, go to work, go to the new place, drop off the things, and then sleep there because I would get off around 2 a.m. Wow. Go back to Burnaby. It's like it was like a cycle.
Right.
So until everything was finished. Yeah. So by the I think it was December 31st, and it was the very last pact. And my friend called me.
What's her name?
Oh my gosh, what's the first name, Mansilla? I can't remember it right now, but don't put that in.
Edit out? Okay.
Oh, Ate John Manila.
Oh.
Is it John Manila?
John Manila?
Joanne. Ate Joanne Manila.
Oh, Joanne Manila.
Miss
Okay.
Manila na lang.
Oh, sige,
Miss Manila.
Oh, sige.
Yeah, so her husband actually called me, and they knew me from the past shows that they seen and from my dad. Most of my contacts are from my dad. So,
your dad's a special guy.
He is. And then he said, hey, Wish 107.5 is in New Westminster. There, if you want to come by and sing a few songs. And I don't know, for some reason, I didn't even have a doubt. I just said yes. Because even though I was super busy that day, and it was rush hour traffic.
Plus, this was the last week of your move.
Yeah,
so
it was the last day.
Last day of your move. So you were pretty much tired the days before that.
Yeah,
diba?
I was just super exhausted. But for some, I just had a gut feeling that I was like, I have to make it there. Okay. And also I had heard of Wish 107.5 because it was super big in the Philippines.
If I digress, shout out to Wish because they're the ones who inspired me to actually bring this kind of format. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, they're great. They're great.
Very good.
And
I'm part of the family too, so.
Yeah, here I'm part of the Wish USA. I feel like they've taken me every time I come here.
Shout out to Aaron Romero.
Thank you, Kuya.
Okay.
And then he called me and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? But I'm gonna be late because it was rush hour. It was like a few hours. Like it took me about 2 hours, it was supposed to be only like 20-minute drive, but since traffic, it's a couple hours.
And there are no freeways in Vancouver.
No, there's a highway, but
free.
Is that a joke? I don't know your joke.
No, that's real. See, every time I say there are no freeways in Vancouver, you guys go, but we have a highway. Yeah, right, but that's not a freeway.
What's the difference between a freeway and a highway?
Freeways are twice the width of a highway. Oh. And they're normally not in the local streets. Kumbaga.
Right.
I
see. Okay.
So, sorry. Next time.
It's okay. Next time I'll get the joke.
So you went there.
And then they said, this is okay, we'll wait for you. And I was like, okay. So I get there and I was the last person to perform. And then I sang my first song and they wanted to hear more. So I sang 2 more songs, I believe.
So was this an audition or a contest?
I didn't know. And at the end of it, they were making me sign a paper. I was like, what's this for? It's like, oh yeah, it's for a contest. Like, just in case you get accepted to the next round. I was like, what? This is a contest? And so I was like, nice.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I filled it up. And then they said I'll hear back after a week. A week later, I hear back from them. Like,
you did hear back. Oh, nice.
Like,
nice.
Congratulations, you made it to the second round. We're going to send you to LA. And I was like, what? This is crazy. And then they sent me here. I did.
Okay, so you made it to the second round. Mm-hmm. Everybody got eliminated, and so who you're representing now? If they sent you to LA,
Canada now. So apparently they were doing auditions all around North America.
Wow!
And they did some other places in Canada, and I was the one who got picked.
What was your winning piece? What did you sing?
for the first audition,
Yeah.
I did all originals.
You write your own songs?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Are they available on Spotify, on iTunes?
Actually, I just dropped my very first single. Can I do a plug?
Of course. Please. We want that.
So it just dropped. It's called Puzzle Piece. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, SoundCloud.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. And Bandcamp. All that
Do you have a
stuff.
website?
I do.
Good.
Dayrose.com. That's DEYROSE.com.
And we'll post all your links in the description para at least all the listeners and all the viewers can click on that. And we'd love for them to go support you and all that stuff.
Great.
Okay, so now second round, you sang original songs also?
No, so I did 2 covers. So the second round here, it was at what was that place? It was in what was that place again, Kuya Aaron? The second round.
For the second round of the contest.
Sorry? Yes, that
Josephine's.
was the Josephine's.
Oh,
yeah.
in Artesia. Yeah. Nice
And that's
place.
Miss Odette was there and 2 other judges. And that's when I met the rest of the North American representatives.
Right.
Actually, there was 2 other girls from, I think, Toronto.
Yeah.
And then myself from Vancouver. And I competed against them and people from LA and New York and all
What song did you sing naman?
I think I sang 2 songs. The first song I did was One, but I did my own
Juan
rendition.
Carlos,
yes, it was a beautiful song.
And then?
So I did that, and then I got through the next round, and then I sang "Take Me to Church."
Now, by this time, did you know that the winner was going to go home to the Philippines?
I think so. Yeah.
Did it mess you up, or did it make you more anxious, knowing that, oh my God?
Well, it was more like I had so much excitement, and I couldn't believe that I was even there doing it at the time, that I didn't even think about whether if I'm gonna win or not.
So, kumbaga, you were just happy with the experience.
I was just happy with the experience. I didn't know, especially after hearing everyone sing and super high voices, like super beat and crazy talented people, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, and here I am in my little guitar, like this quiet little thing, and then and then at the end of it, Miss Odette announced my name, and I was just blown away because I couldn't believe that I was actually picked to represent North America.
She picked you, no?
Yeah.
And there's a backstory there that I know.
It's because of the song of Naseo?
No?
I don't really know the full story.
Basta I'll tell you later.
Okay, sounds good.
Sige. So now, what was the feel? How did it feel like meeting Odette Quesada? Did you know of Odette Quesada before you met her?
I know of some of her like big hits.
Right, and they were really big hits,
like,
diba?
Friend of mine and
oh my God, karaoke number 1 yun.
Yeah, and so when I heard that, I was just kind of blown away. Like, what? She's mentoring me. She's gonna be my coach, and she's super chill. She's like a friend of mine. I didn't mean
no
that.
pun intended.
No pun intended. Pero yeah, she's super chill and nice and so cool.
Very cool.
She's so cool.
Yes. So now you won. When did it sink in? Now you're representing North America. When you won ba? When you won, did it become Canada or North America na?
North America na.
Okay, so
yeah, because I was the first Wish USA rep.
How did it feel knowing full well? Oh my God, you had to go back to Canada, right?
I had to go back to Canada, and then they sent me back here. That's when I recorded.
Yeah, that's when we met.
Yeah,
from the airport, diretso to the studio.
Diretso sa studio.
Ako rin, from the house, diretso to the studio. That was. Aaron, pwede ka tumawa. Huwag mo pipigilan. Cute naman, di ba?
I almost got that. Okay.
hindi alam ni Dey kung seryoso. I'm just like this. Si Aaron na pa isip.
I'm slowly getting used to it.
Parang from the house to the... Okay,
I know, I was thinking too. I was like, it's not that far.
So, now, do you remember the people who do you remember your personnel who recorded Naseo with you? Do you remember all of us by names?
Of course, you.
Okay, what's my name?
Paco Arespacochaga.
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 There you go.
It's so hard to say. Kuya Perf.
What's his last name?
Perf de Castro.
Oh, yeah, good job. Okay.
And then I don't really know the
Sige pa,
rest.
try it.
I don't know.
They're listening right now.
Miss Odette Quesada was there.
Miss Odette Quesada was there.
Kuya Aaron was there too.
Kuya Aaron was there. What's the name of the engineer?
I don't know.
Ay, ako rin, I don't know.
but
Sige,
he's
pareho tayo.
but he's from here.
He's from here. And he owns the
And
place.
he owns the place. Yeah,
Vic Carpio of Intro Voice on guitars.
yeah,
Acoustic
I know
guitars.
that you're all from Intro Voice.
No.
Not all?
Perf de Castro is from Rock Stallion and River Maya.
Right.
And then si Mark Yap, the bass player, is also from Rock Stallion. And then, sino nag-keyboards, Aaron? Si Elson.
Elson, Kuya Elson, yes.
Elson Trinidad.
Yeah.
On
yeah.
keyboards.
I'm friends with all of them, all of you guys.
Even me?
Sa
Sa Facebook? Oh, yeah.
No, I just added you.
Ay, salamat. I'm friends with your dad. I see. I'll always go back to your
my
dad.
My dad is friends with everyone.
You have the coolest dad. Did you know that?
I know that. Yeah, he's so cool and he's the best dad.
Did you grow up with your dad?
Yes, for a little bit because he was working. Like most Filipino parents, they work abroad and then usually leave their kids sa lolo and lola.
Your dad looks young. Is he young? Did he have you at a young age?
Yes, my mom was. I should say it's okay.
Yeah.
They'll be fine. She was 19, and my dad was 21.
They were young because I had my son Heaven when I was 25.
That's a cool name.
I know, no? Heaven. So now my son is 23 and I'm so anyway.
Can I guess?
Sige na nga, or what?
46? 47?
Pwede na. I'll take that. I'll take that number. It's actually 48. I'm 48 now. Yeah.
There you go.
So, and I think me and my eldest son are kinda buddies because hindi ganun kalayong age gap. So I would assume kayo rin ng daddy mo.
Yeah, and that's why my dad also wants that for me. So he's always like, "Oh, make sure you don't turn past 30 before you have your first kid.
Really?
Maybe next year."
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The whole family, even his siblings, everyone back home.
Okay.
Because I'm the oldest.
You're the
in
eldest.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you dating? Do you have a boyfriend?
Yes,
Okay.
we do. Yeah.
Good. Happily dating?
Yes. Very long distance.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about that.
Okay, sounds good.
Sige. What do you think of LDR?
It's hard but also exciting and new.
Tell me the hard part. Alam mo itong ano natin, itong director natin ngayon, itong producer natin, interesado sa kwento. Okay. What's hard about LDR?
The communication, I guess, is because through phone, like video chat and messaging, you don't really feel the emotions.
Right.
Lalo
na texting.
You don't really know if
galit ba
or if they're sad. And then when you're trying to fix things, you're not there to comfort each other physically.
Right.
So it's different. Pero it's also, it's cool. It's very exciting. You get to travel, when I go to see him and then he comes to see me.
Where is he from?
He's from Austria, Graz, Austria, Europe.
Oh, wow. Have you been to Austria?
Yeah, I was actually there for almost a month, a few days before I came here.
Has he been to Vancouver?
Yeah.
I know what he said when he left.
I know.
I'll be back. Alam mo, itong mga listeners ko, kumakamot na ng ulo. I guess, guys, yung age gap namin dalawa ni Audrey, ni Dey, is actually hurting the conversation.
What's that from?
Si Arnold Schwarzenegger sa Terminator, di ba?
Oh, okay, yeah, he always brags that Arnold is actually from Graz, Austria.
Yes, yes. And Arnold is Austrian, malamang from Graz, Austria.
Yeah.
And his eyes is, I'll be back. Oh,
yeah,
diba? Oh,
okay.
You finally got it? Please tell me. Save me, Dey.
Yes, I get
Save
it
me.
now. Okay, I get it. You had to explain.
Okay, I thought I lost it.
Yeah, so actually we met.
Yeah, where'd you meet?
So Vietnam.
What?
I know. It's kind of crazy.
What was he doing in Vietnam?
So last summer, actually that was after the grand finals of Wish, and then I came back to Canada for a month,
And then
I went to Asia again, to Vietnam to travel, and then to the Philippines and get ready for the
Wait, hold
album.
on.
I know.
Hold on, Miss Rose. Too fast.
Okay.
What were you even doing in Vietnam?
I wanted to travel on my own.
And Vietnam pa talaga napili mo. Why not Indonesia? Why not, right?
Because
Bali or
I don't
Bangkok?
Because when I travel, I don't like going to tourist spots. I like to experience the local scene. So I flew to Hanoi, North Vietnam.
Okay.
And I had no plans. I just booked 2 nights at this random hostel. And then I got there super like middle of the night, 3 a.m. And I didn't know. And I just started talking to locals to figure out my plan. So my plan was to go from north to south.
How did they speak in English? You're from Vancouver?
Bakboy.
Bakboy, you call you go 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
How about that?
Exactly.
My uncle is Vietnamese, that's why I know. Hi to Uncle Hong Le. See?
Yeah,
that's his name.
they're very, very nice people.
Very nice
the
people.
Culture and the food, like, fantastic.
And that's where you met him.
Yeah. So I was
3 a.m.
No, actually, so I was going from my travels. I was going from north to south, and then he was coming from south to north.
Uy, talagang pang yeah,
like meet
in the middle yan eh, oh. Okay.
Yeah. So we met at this town called Ninh Binh in Tam-Coc.
Say it properly. Ninh Binh.
Ninh Binh.
In
Tam-Coc.
Tam-Coc.
Yeah, yeah. So we met there, and we had the same homestay. And I arrived there the night before. He arrived the next morning.
And then you met at breakfast.
Breakfast.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Like looking back, all the little things before we started to talk.
Right.
You know, like all the little moments. It's like
So what was he doing there?
Traveling also.
Backpacking.
So backpacking also. He had just finished law school, and then he decided to take a break and traveled for 2 months, I believe.
You know what's so interesting? For you to even think of Vietnam and for him to even think of Vietnam.
That's what we were saying.
Pareho kayong weird.
I thought you were gonna say that's like
destiny.
Destiny. I thought you were gonna be romantic and stuff.
Pero weird destiny. Dalawa.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, so now and then, hi, hello,
and then we were together. We were hanging out for less than 1 day because he had to go back up north,
and you had to go south.
Yeah.
Then you exchanged numbers, and then you became online friends.
And then I was already in Saigon just before I flew to Manila.
Right.
He calls me and he says, "Hey, I'm flying back home to Austria tomorrow, but I want to see you." So he flies
to Saigon.
He flies to Saigon to see me for like 12 hours.
Okay.
And then flies back to Hanoi so he can take his
flight to Austria.
So I flew into Manila. He went back to Austria. And then I was traveling around still in the Philippines. And I was getting ready for the album launch of Naseo and for the whole Wish thing.
Yes.
And then he calls again after a month. He's like, "Hey,
after a month
of being home."
So, but you guys talk consistently, or
just on the phone. And then he says, "I want to see you again." And then I was like, "Okay." And he booked his flight.
By this time, he's a lawyer na.
No, he hasn't started working at the time because he can't really start working right away. And then so he
booked a flight.
He booked a flight to Manila, and he flew on the day of the album launch.
Really?
Yeah, so he was at Araneta, and he was the only white guy there.
What?
Yeah. It's super cool, actually.
Okay, then kayo na nito, hindi pa?
No, it was hindi pa.
So kilig moment.
Yeah, it was just getting to know each other.
Did you make it known that you were kilig, or you just...
I was trying to like play the cool rock star, you know, with my guitar. I'm going to be on stage soon. I'll talk to you later. Just kidding.
Hold my guitar case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so that was the first time he met my mom and my brother too, and some family from Guagua also came to Manila to see me. And yeah, that was really cool. And then after the concert, I had some free time before I flew back to Canada. So him and I traveled. We went to Cebu.
Wow.
We went to
Boracay, no?
No, not Boracay, and not Palawan. No, the other. Oh my gosh, what is that island?
Davao, Bohol.
No, that really famous island.
Philippine Island?
Surfing Island.
Ano? Hindi naman
Siargao.
Oh, Siargao, yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. So we went there for a few days, and then Cebu, and traveled around, and then...
Kayo na?
At some point
in between the travel.
In Siargao, yeah.
Siargao always does the trick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we separated ways again. We parted again. He went back home. I went back home, and then I was working, and then he came to see me in Canada again.
Wow.
Yeah, so he was very dedicated, very
And
very dedicated.
and in the interim, while you guys are not together, you guys talk all the time.
Yeah.
Now, what about time zone? Tell me about that.
It's they're 9 hours ahead, so it works out because when he's just going to bed, I'm just waking up,
Right.
and when I'm just waking up, he's going to bed, and usually we kind of have a routine already. So I wake up, I call him. It's just about evening there, and then when I get off work late at night, I give him a call, and
Yeah.
it's morning over
Then
there.
siya
So,
naman, ganun
so
din.
pretty much twice a day we
Right.
talk. Yeah.
And then, any plans of him moving to Canada or you moving to Austria?
We were actually talking about that. I'll probably have to talk to my parents first. But there's talks, but we're talking about our plans because he needs to, he has his career, I have my career, and he's
Yes.
very understanding with what
Is
I
he
do.
very supportive?
Very, very supportive. Like, he knows from the beginning. I let him know that music is my passion, and I'm going for it, and I'm focusing on it, and he's known that from the start, and he's been very supportive about it. So
If he stops you, is that the end of the relationship?
he won't stop me.
Good.
I won't let it, and he knows that, and he's the type of person that wouldn't stop me from doing what I love to do. So
You know what? Here's a good answer to that, no? And maybe you listeners who are in the situation wherein you have a partner who is trying to hinder your growth as a musician. I learned this from the vocalist of Intro Voice. He goes, I asked him, what if your wife stops you from singing? What are you going to do? And what he said was, you know what? I'll just my wife tried that, or kind of went there without going there, because I already told my wife, I don't do drugs, I don't drink. My only vice is music. And it's
Yeah.
actually my passion. And if you kill the music, you've killed me.
that's deep.
But it makes perfect
It
sense,
does.
diba?
Yeah.
Now, if I say this because, yes, if music prevents the relationship from blossoming, because you being exposed to music means you're exposed to drugs, means you're doing stupid things,
We're traveling lots,
traveling
being
a lot,
away a lot.
and not having any regard of bringing the family, then I guess that's a different conversation. Kami ng wife ko, when I travel, I take her with me.
Yeah.
Even when I was doing Wish on the bus, my Wish family knows I would bring, if not my wife, my kids were with me, because that's how I am. In other
Yeah.
words, we either do things as a family or we don't do it at all. Diba? That's my kuya advice to you. I'm glad that he's not stopping. And are you going to stop him from becoming a lawyer?
No, he can do whatever he wants. Like,
As long as he's beside you. No?
he can handle all the lawyer stuff with.
Malay mo,
all
he
the
becomes an entertainment
legal-
lawyer, diba? What if he becomes your entertainment lawyer?
Even
Then
better. Then we can work side by side.
napaganda pa, diba? So, how long have you guys been together? I guess
Not long.
almost a year.
Almost 7 months. Yes.
See, I'm doing the timeline in my head. Eh.
Yeah.
So now let's go back to your music. So you released an EP, a single, or an album?
A single. My debut single. Yes.
Tell me about it.
So it's called Puzzle Piece.
Puzzle Piece,
I
yeah.
wrote it in the summer of 2018.
Okay.
It was actually the very first song I wrote after maybe 2.5 years of not making music at all. I completely stopped making music because
Why?
I had a moment in my life where I kind of doubted if it was something that I should be doing, because like
Oh, sorry. But what was the doubt coming from? Rejection? Was it
I
coming
guess from I started to think more practical for my family, like having like family in the Philippines, and I always my goal was to always give them a better life.
life.
Like
Yeah,
give back to my
typical
parents
Philippine.
and my family.
Who's in the Philippines pa ba? Your mom?
Everyone.
Your mom?
My parents are in Canada. My brother is in Manila.
Wow.
And
Your younger brother. Because you're the eldest, right?
yeah, so he moved back there actually for school and basketball.
Oh, wow.
So
Is he into music too?
no, he's just
How many
complete
siblings
gospel.
do you have?
Just one.
Okay, so it's you and your brother.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then like lolas, cousins, titos, titas are in the Philippines also.
Wow. Amazing. Well, God bless you on that one. So now you were doubting if music.
Was gonna get me somewhere where I can provide for my family one day, and I guess I kind of started to get scared that I wasn't gonna be able to do that, and I was also like the oldest in our family, like the oldest cousin, I guess, and I felt like my cousins are looking up to me, and and then I just started to lose inspiration, I guess, and then I was still surrounded by music. I was working as a sound technician, and then over time, I started to work more with musicians at Guilt and Co. Actually, I'm really thankful for that place because it inspired me again to write.
I was gonna ask you because when you were working with musicians, you were there behind the scene making stuff happen. Did it ever occur to you that what, I shouldn't be doing this? I should be in front. I should be on stage.
Yeah. Every time I go to work, I'm always like, it's almost like a little part of my heart dies.
Yeah, of course.
Because I'm always like, I want to be there. I want to be the one, making music. And
is it safe to say Wish saved you?
Yeah, absolutely. They're a huge part of where I am now, and all the connections and all the cool things and opportunities that I got after that is just unbelievable. Like, it's crazy. I don't have any words to thank them more and the people that I met because of the Wish competition. Yeah.
Now,
and then 2018 summer, I went to a music festival called Blessed Ghost, and it's not a typical music festival. It's more like it's very community and family based, and lots of kids running around. It's a very like give love, kind of be kind to one another kind of festival.
Yes, so and more of like communal, di ba? Parang
Yeah.
And Puzzle Piece hasn't been made at this point. No, not yet.
No, not yet. And then that was when just being surrounded by all the love and like the kindness from other people and the music and art in general, it just, I can't even explain, but it opened up something, it almost like took away all the worries and all the doubt, everything that I was feeling. And for the first time, I was able to be inspired again to write. And
nice.
That's where the song Puzzle Piece.
What's the first line of Puzzle Piece?
Stars aligned when you're not looking for the one. No, like this. No, this song actually can be it can be taken as a song for a relationship if you're not looking, if puzzle piece meaning finding the right person, or even like spiritually.
Yes.
Like if God and religion came to your life, like just life in general. It's up to you how you want to take the song.
I had a song, no, ang may line na, you're my missing puzzle piece, you're my wanting dream. Well, I remember, which is true. It could be anything, whatever it is.
It happens, and you get that, like when you least expect it, when you're not looking for it.
So you wrote the song.
I wrote the song, and I mean, I didn't think like it was special to me because it's the first song that kind of opened up more songs after. But I didn't know that I was gonna record it. Actually, of course, like winning Wish, I used that money to record that.
Nice.
So like I came back home right away, and I called my friends, like, you know what, like I have these songs that I just started to write again, and I want them recorded. And so that's Puzzle Piece was recorded right after I got home from the Philippines.
Now, you changed your name. Why?
Because
what was it before? Tell them.
Audrey Rose, which is my real name, my legal name, and I've always been known as Audrey Rose as an artist name.
Yes.
And when this year, or end of 2019, when I decided to take music a little more seriously and hopefully go somewhere with it, and that's when I actually signed with Lily Stars.
Okay.
Lily Stars Records. Yeah. Based in Manila with Kuya Clem Castro.
Yes.
And he said, "There's another Audrey Rose."
I know.
Yeah, and she's actually based here. She's from LA. She's a hip hop artist.
Yeah.
And I looked her up and I was like, oh no, but that's my real name. She can't take that away from me. And then they're like,
First come, first serve.
yeah, and that's probably her real name too. But in the world of in this business, like you don't want to run into problems one day, so you have to change it.
Someone took my real name.
Your real name?
Yeah.
Really?
Brad Pitt. Hindi mo na naman na-gets. Na-gets mo na.
Yes. But like, can you insert like clapping ano lang?
I think meron din dito eh. Wait lang.
Ay, yun. That's awesome.
Okay. So Dey.
Dey.
Who thought of that name?
So after many options, it was even like Raven Rose, and my dad's like, no, that's not really you. Let's not go for that. So
I think
like,
Dey's nice. I like Dey.
So Dey is actually my nickname. Dey.
There
you know how like Filipinos give double names?
Yeah, JJ, Tantan,
Tantan.
Pakpak.
Yeah. My cousins are Din,
Din. Yeah.
And then
Jaja, my wife.
Yeah.
Janelle became Jaja.
Jaja. Yeah, we double the names. Yeah. And so my nickname was Dey, and a lot of my friends and close friends and family call me Dey still. And I wanted to keep the Rose. So we came up with Dey Rose. We made sure that there's no other Dey Rose out there. So.
Is there a .com behind the Dey Rose already? Did you get the .com? Good.
Yeah.
Good
job.
So
we lined up everything. So like the domain is mine. Twitter, Instagram, all the usernames are.
And you know what's so interesting? When we played Cook's Corner. No, Cook's Corner.
Oh, Cook's. Yeah.
Aaron actually said, "Oh, you were performing, right?" And when I saw you in my head, Audrey.
Yeah.
Okay, that's in my head, and we were just talking, me and Aaron suddenly goes, "You want to put Dey Rose on the podcast?" And that's how he called you, and automatically, without looking at you, it just came out naturally, Aaron, no? Na parang, oh, she's Dey Rose.
Yeah.
And I don't have a hard time calling you Dey Rose, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you went with Raven, baka I might have given you a smolder.
I'm glad I didn't.
Baka tinasakit na ng kilay. Oh, Raven?
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't go for that.
Not so Raven Disney.
No. Yeah. It took me a little bit to get used to it, but I'm growing into it, and
I like it.
Yeah, my art and everything went well together, my color scheme and all that. So it's really cool.
The piercing's gone. Why?
Oh, it's not. I just took it out because I have a little bit of sipon.
Oh. We're talking about nose.
My septum piercing.
Is it called a septum?
Septum ring, yeah.
Okay, my wife had one sa dila.
Painful.
I know, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I had ako the worst thing I ever did was sa tenga lang. That was I thought I was doing a good thing already by having 2 earrings on one ear.
Have you seen my dad?
Yeah. My
He
goodness.
has one right here.
Right?
He has like 3 on this side.
Right?
4 on this side.
Everywhere, may piercing. How about tats? You have tats?
Yes, I have
Where?
a few.
Like sleeves? No?
I'm working on the sleeve.
You want? Okay.
I want to get.
What's the name of your boyfriend?
Thomas.
Does he
Thomas
approve
Schwartz.
of all these? He's fine with that?
Yeah, he's fine. I think I'm actually he has a tattoo that we got together.
Really?
It's a traveling tattoo. It's a compass because it kind of represents.
I'm liking this podcast. All of a sudden,
It's so personal. It's good.
okay. Again, like
It's
what
this.
Oh wow! Oh, the
It's
compass.
a compass because
That's the longitude, latitude where you guys met.
not where we met exactly, but just in general.
What's
like,
this? X marks the
Oh,
spot.
this one is
Show
a
it
positive.
to them. Like, can you see it, guys? Ayan o. Oh, diba? Yun, no? Nakikita ba direct?
Yeah. So this one I got before. That was actually, that was before I wrote Puzzle Piece.
Wow.
Or actually after I wrote
this
Puzzle,
cross, yeah.
Yeah, this cross. It's a positive sign, and like I should take out.
Yeah,
I
go.
show you.
Show
And
everybody.
then this I got it with this.
What does that mean?
It's faith.
Faith.
Faith
Oh, nice.
in Hebrew.
Wow.
I got this and this together, just to kind of remind myself to always have faith and keep positive. So
yes. How about the piercing in the nose? What compelled you to do that?
I think that was when, towards the end of my last relationship, and I started to rebel when it wasn't going very well. Yeah.
No. Was it painful?
Not really. It was more like a different feeling when what I remember from it was the needle going through.
Ooh.
Like, kind of like that. And only for a split second, though.
And then that was it.
Yeah, that was the more most painful part was when it was healing, because especially when you have a cold, and every time you move it, it's like when you get hit in the nose and you cry instantly.
Yeah. A friend of mine who actually is a fan of the podcast, si Marvin Rivera Halili. He's from Portland, Oregon. I think he does tattoo, and he also has what do you call it? Yeah, septum
piercing.
Septum piercing. Belly button.
Oh, that's even more worse.
It is?
I don't have it.
Okay. So just one dito lang sa ilong.
Yeah, and just 2 extra in the ears.
If you don't keep a ring on it, does it?
At first, yeah, but I've had it for more than 2 years now,
you're
so
fine.
it's fine. Like, I can take it out for as long as. But at first, it closed up.
Because sa wife ko, there's a bubble occurred. Like her, she stopped putting what do you call it? It's not a stud, no? Is it called a stud pag sa dila? Ano ba yung? Meron din siya rito. Meron. Natatawa ako sa mga naglalagay sa lip. Kasi pag nagmumumog sila, di ba? Tumatalsik na yung, I don't know. Maybe. So, would you recommend kids to do that?
I mean, if you want to do it at a certain age, also, like, if your family and your friends, your family especially, are not against it, or some religions are against it. If you have cool parents,
you have cool parents.
I do. I'm lucky with that. So, and if you want to do it, just
let's talk about your dad. What's your dad's name?
Armando.
Now,
Nam.
Si Nam, I love your dad. I've been Facebook friends with your dad for a while.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember him really being very proud that you and I are actually going to collaborate.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, like, your dad's a frustrated rock star.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he knows that too, and he admits. And that's why he wants me. He's kind of pushing that on me too, because he used to be a musician, and he was in a rock band, and so. And
maybe your dad doesn't know this because I've never told anybody. But whenever I used to feel really down, there was a time in my life, 2013, 2014. That was a dark time in my life. I would go look at your dad's videos and posts, and he would cheer me up just by what was on his post. And I'm like, if this guy can say, if this guy can actually just tell the world to back off and not give a care, just so that he can express his feelings, that to me was inspiration enough.
Yeah.
And who would have thought that I would be meeting you, diba? I had no idea.
Oh, you didn't know?
No. It just he reached out and said, he was like, Paco, yung anak ko, ganyan. So when I got the call to actually help you out, it got me excited because that was it. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, you didn't even know that we were going to work together?
No. Well, I kind of knew because Perf was the one cooking things up. He was the one organizing it. So I was just in it because I was friends with Perf. Diba? Yeah. But the reality was, when that aligned, I was proud enough to actually tell you that, hey, I'm working with your daughter. Finally, I'm gonna get a chance to work for her and all that. So how was that experience like working with us?
Oh, it was mind blowing. Because I came straight from the airport, and when I got in the studio, I only knew that Miss Odette was gonna be there and Sir Perf, and even that was already mind blowing for me. And then when I went into the room and saw you guys, and like, I was introduced to every single one of you, and I was like, oh my gosh! Like, I've obviously known you from your
when we were both young. Yeah, be careful what you say.
Yes, that.
Yes.
And then yeah, it was great, and it was almost like it flew by because I was
yes.
in awe the
Me
whole
too.
day.
You're a good singer, by the way. You're a
thank you.
very good singer.
Thank you.
I you know what, I really think you should have won, but kudos to whoever won. But I really
She's great. Yeah, Rhea. Shout out to Rhea. She's doing great right now, and the rest of the grand finalists that I was with, I was like their ate.
oh,
So we all became such good friends, and I miss all of them. So it was such a great time with them.
so shout out to all of them, and you had fun. That was a good experience.
Yeah.
Tour. Let's talk about tour.
Yeah. So I have a lot of things actually cooking up right now. Lots of exciting things since I signed with Lily Stars, and put out my first single. When I go back, I'm actually doing
Going
a
back
mini
to Vancouver.
to Vancouver.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going back to Vancouver, and then I have a mini acoustic tour with Kuya Clem. So he's coming to Canada, and
Really nice.
yeah, he's doing a little tour, and he's tagging me along, which is really nice of him. So I'm gonna do that, and then also I have a few dates in Manila starting on April 17th. So I'm gonna do a tour. I think so far I have 6 or 7 shows,
Yes.
plus a media radio tour as well. So I'm gonna be in Manila from middle of April until end of April, beginning of May-ish.
This is what I want to know. So this little girl who grew up in Pampanga,
Yeah.
went to Canada at the age of 12. Was there a dream at 12 years old to become who you are now?
Yeah, I mean, like I've always been surrounded by music. From the beginning, music, I knew that music was always something that I'm gonna be with, or who I am already, and something that I'm going to pursue. Even if I had that dark moment with music, I
Right.
always deep inside, you always know when you know.
Yes.
And yeah, and for me, it's more than just pursuing it because it's my passion, and because it's something that I want to do for myself. Other than that, it's also because I'm doing it for my family.
Yeah.
There's so much more surrounding it, like
Yeah.
because if I'm successful with it, I feel like my family would
Of
be
course.
successful with it too.
Of course. It's the best gift you could ever give them.
Yeah, and I just want to, especially to my parents and my grandparents, I just want to give back to them because they worked so hard all their lives, and I just want them to stop working, I guess, and
Yeah.
just
Music is
enjoy
key.
life.
Yeah.
So
How about these kids who are doing music? What advice can you give them? Are they lucky enough that now they have social media to work in their favor?
very, very lucky. My dad always pushed me to post videos, and especially on YouTube, and I was always kind of lazy to do that. But I realize now that social media is such a powerful thing to use now
Yeah.
to get your stuff out there. It's easy, and if you really want your music to be out there, you have all the tools,
Right.
like for free too. So I suggest just take advantage of technology now, because it's your most powerful tool that you have right now. So
Now, networking to you came to your advantage, being smack in the middle of the action in Vancouver,
Yeah.
whether you're working behind the scene or not. But tell our young female audience and even our male audience, how important is networking and pakikisama, or being nice to other people in the industry that you are in right now? How far has it brought you to be nice?
that's like the number one thing for me.
Did it come naturally?
Networking.
Did it come naturally? Were you
Yeah.
really nice?
I mean, I try to anyways, because like
Because you were
it
a
doesn't-
snob. No, just kidding. No.
No, like I mean, like growing up with my dad, like he always taught my brother and I, be nice and
Your dad's nice.
always be positive,
Yeah.
always kind of bring joy to everyone that you're surrounded
Right.
with, because it makes a huge difference.
Mm.
So it's number one for me, like whether it's networking with work and just trying to shake hands with everybody, getting to know everyone, and also being likable and making sure that you're nice to the people that you
Yes.
meet, because for example, let's say being a sound tech, it doesn't matter how good of a tech you are, if if you're not personable, if you're
Yeah.
if you're kind of,
Diba?
if you're not nice,
Ooh.
no one's gonna want to work with you. So it's everything to me. I would say.
Now,
It's
to
very
become a
important.
sound tech, did you go to school for this?
I did, yeah. So I went to, at first I went to post-secondary for theory, and I was actually going to go for my 4-year bachelor's in music.
Wow.
But so I did that for about 2 years, and then I kind of said, oh, I want to do something different.
Right.
And that's when I went to school for the other side, which is the technical side. So I went for audio engineering. And
Which is
production.
very smart because, you know, like some people...
Helps.
Yes, and some artists, they know how to perform, but without a tech, they don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah.
They don't know what an XLR cable is or what you know what I mean?
It's definitely it's helpful knowing both sides.
Yeah.
When I was just performing and I didn't know anything about the technical side, I was always like kind of needy as a
Of course.
musician.
You're at the
I
mercy
didn't- you
of
didn't know,
everybody.
yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know
How
if
to
things-
troubleshoot.
or also like I didn't know what's possible or what's
Yes.
not possible.
Yes.
And sometimes I would meet sound technicians that are just grumpy,
Lazy.
grumpy, and not nice. And I always said, part of why I'm a sound tech now is because I always said, oh, if I kind of want to do that job, and
Yeah.
if I ever become a sound tech one
You
day,
will
I'm
be.
gonna make sure that I'm nice to the musicians, because it, you know, if you're not nice to each other, this show is affected.
Kita mo naman, what goes around comes
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
Diba? Now look
absolutely.
where you are now. Diba? I'm really very proud of you.
Thank you.
Now, this is very important. Do you have a manager?
Yes. Do I say this?
Yeah.
Paul Condon.
Paul-
He's based here.
Based here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, who hired who?
Actually, I met him here last year at Josephine's, and he's working with an artist named Alpha,
Okay.
and she's also based here, and she performed at Josephine's as a guest
Right.
performer, and Paul was there, and that's how we met, and they introduced themselves to me because they liked my voice and stuff and my music. So we just kind of kept in touch since then, here and there, you know,
Good.
say, how are you? How are things going? And then, you know, I would ask them for help, for connections in Manila, like, you know, where I can get gigs and all
Yeah.
that. And they helped me out a lot. And then eventually we just started to kind of work more.
That's nice.
Yeah, and then honestly, like, Paul just started to do things, like, help me out just because he's nice and he believed in what I do.
So shout out to Paul.
Shout out to Paul, and he's helped me a lot. I wouldn't know all the people that I know now and the connections that I have if it wasn't for him also. So yeah, so he's helping me out now.
That's good. Now, who's your favorite female artist?
There's lots. Especially after the NAM week, I saw so many.
You were at the NAM show.
Yeah.
How was that? Was that your first
Second year.
second
Yeah,
year at the
yeah,
NAM? Okay.
Yeah. So it's incredible, like the amount of talent that you discover.
Right? It
during
humbles
NAM.
you.
Yeah.
It humbles you big
And
time.
it inspires you also.
Yes.
It's like, dang, I want to be that, you know, like
Right?
it inspires you to practice more, like hone your craft more and be at a level that these artists are
Yes.
at. So
Now do that, because at some point when you're that, other young kids would aspire to be like you. So at any rate, that's why you want to be that, not to be condescending toward other people, but to be an inspiration to other
absolutely.
people, diba?
Yeah, because it's powerful. It's absolutely powerful when somebody can inspire you
Yes.
and can move you in such a huge way, you know. So
And you play guitars.
I do. Yeah, I play.
What's your favorite guitar?
Well, right now I'm playing the D&D custom guitar.
Ooh.
It's the Diglo model.
D&D is made in Pinas.
Yeah, Manila.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah,
endorsing?
Sir Mong.
Are
Yes.
you nice naman? Shout out.
Shout out to D&D custom
My
guitars.
goodness. we'll put the link in the description also.
Yes, thank you, Kuya Mong, and also thank you, Paul, for connecting us.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mong. I think because I remember at Cooks, you were using the D&D guitar at
Yes,
Cooks, diba?
yeah.
We were looking at your guitar. We were going, that's a D&D.
Yeah.
Me and Bowie Meneses of Parokya ni Adia, we were staring at it. We were going, you know what? That looks like a D&D. That's a D&D.
Yeah.
And then Robin Rivera comes in and says, what are you guys talking about? We're looking at Dey's guitar, and we're figuring out if that's a Fender or a D. And Robin Rivera goes, "That's a D&D. I already saw it."
Yeah.
Thank you for taking out the guesswork.
And it's actually cool because so now my artist color scheme has been based on that guitar. So if you guys check out my website and all of my social media, and my logo and artwork and all of that is based on the color of that guitar, which I'm really, really stoked about.
Did D&D give you the guitar?
Yes.
Okay. And what model is it?
It's the Dey Glow.
The Dey Glow.
Yeah.
Now, what's so special about the Dey Glow? It sounds acoustic, no?
It sounds acoustic. Like, it's kind of hard to explain. It just, for me, it just works with my sound. It's not, because I'm not a crazy guitar player where I can shred and all that stuff. I think it's perfect for, my music, like kind of like soulful and mellow and vibey kind of sound. Like still, like kind of mellow, but it's still full.
Yeah, like this. When I was watching you, and I actually took a picture of you up close, huh?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
You saw that, right? So it like what you were saying, the guitar was not obtrusive at all.
Yeah.
It really sat well with your voice.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to know: is this did D&D do this on purpose?
No, so actually I got the guitar a few days before I flew back to Canada, and that's when I only had the chance to talk to Kuya Mong like a few days before I left, so we didn't have much time to catch up and talk about a model, like a custom design for me. So he
the
just,
Dey Glow, he gave it to you. He felt
he just pretty much said, go to our location in MOA and try our guitars, pick one that you like, whatever speaks to you, and then just try it out and take it home. And honestly, I didn't even expect for that to happen. I just wanted to go there and say hi and like check out their guitars because I was roaming around anyways. And he's like, yeah, just take it home. And I was like, no, you're kidding.
You know what? Thank you for doing that, because there are very, very good Pinoy brands. Like you have D&D, you have Elegy, you know, for the bass and all that stuff. And as artists, wouldn't it be nice to really help our Pinoy innovators when they make something? We put our name, dati RJ lang di ba?
Yeah.
And let's really help out. I'm glad you're doing this. I'm really, really happy you're doing this.
Yeah, that's my goal, is to help out Philippines, and help out local.
Right.
Local
and don't forget
companies.
these people, because at some point you're gonna get very, very big, and people are gonna steal you from the little mom and pop shop. Don't forget where you started. You know,
no, I won't. I actually have a tattoo about that.
D&D?
No, not D&D.
Wow, Mom! Iba tong artist mo, Mom!
No, actually, before I get to my tattoo, I want to do a quick shout out also to my uncle from Bicol, Philippines and Audio Center, because they also provided me a microphone.
What microphone do you use?
It's a Bicol, the 300 series.
Yeah, the 300 by Paco.
Yeah, by Bicol, and they gave me not one but 3 microphones.
Good.
It was awesome, and also an in-ear monitoring system. So,
good.
Yeah, I've been using that back home.
Take care of those stuff. You know, like all the gear that you see here at Paco's place, except for the drum kit, everything was given. Given.
That's right. Yeah.
So, and I can also say that our good friend even donated a camera.
You did? Nice.
As in
this one?
Yeah, no, hopefully no. Something as powerful as that also, no. But it's nice because you when we give, it just comes back tenfold, you know? I mean,
absolutely.
And when we don't forget the people that help us along the way, mas marami silang ginaganan itulong sa atin. So that's my advice. So let's talk about your tattoo.
Oh yeah. So I have it's right here.
Okay.
You can see, but like it's
that's Alibata.
Yeah, Alibata.
Oh, see, I knew Alibata. Who had that Alibata? One of my guests. I think that was Jonathan Angeles. Yeah, I think had the Alibata. Yeah. So what does it mean?
So but yeah, shout out to I only have one tattoo artist. You probably know him. It's Kuya Mayo.
Yes,
Mayo
yes.
Birthmark tattoos.
Kuya Mayo has a nice tattoo on his back.
Yeah, he has a lot.
Yeah, pero sa likod niya, meron portrait eh. Sabi ko sa kanya, bakit hindi mo ako nakalagay sa likod mo? But, hi, Mayo. Mr. Mayo Landicho. Anyway, go. So, he did that, and then?
Yeah, so it's in Alibata, and it's actually Jose Rizal's one of his sayings.
Wow.
It's someone who doesn't, ang taong hindi marunong lumingon sa pinanggalingan ay hindi makakarating sa paroroonan. Meaning, I guess in English, someone who doesn't know how to look back at their roots or where they came from will never go to where they're trying to go to. So that's another reminder of my Filipino roots.
That's humility right there. Humility yun diba? Like my dad would always say the same thing. He would say, the people you meet on the way up are the same people you will meet on the way down. So you better be nice.
Yeah.
Be nice. And then, yung isang tito ko naman mali pala yung quote niya kay Jose Rizal kasi sabi niya, ang taong lumilingon sa pinanggalingan, kadalasan nadadapa.
I've heard that before too. Or may natapakan.
Okay, at least may sense of humor si Dey, people. Corny naman. Corny ko. Okay.
Or nadulas sa saging.
Ang taong lumilingon sa pinanggalingan, nadulas sa saging po. Oh my God. So, are you done with the tats or sige pa?
No, I'm not done. I don't think I am.
Really?
I'm thinking about a half sleeve, but like I want to get because I've started a thing where all my tattoos are from the middle to the left. So I have like a rose tattoo on my my spine, and then I have a spine line of
parang Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know? Oh, sige. Talagang hindi ko mo-connect yung mga age gap people, age gap.
You should get like a cricket.
I know. Meron tayo yan.
Ayun! Nice.
Okay, kompleto yan.
And so right now I have like the rose and the middle is from one of my favorite bands, Dire Straits.
I like
from the
Dire
song
Straits.
Don't Worry, like Sunshine After Rain.
Right.
And then what's the next line? Sunshine After Rain. Anyways, I forget right now. But
alam mo, sinasadya ko lang talaga hindi makarelate because 70s, 80s bandang, 80s band ba ang Dire Straits? 70s. 80s, no?
Yeah.
I wasn't born yet. Anyway.
So I'm thinking of getting a half sleeve, but I want it to be like a tribal Filipino.
Ooh.
Like,
so black lang talaga.
Yeah, I don't want to get colored. Just like line work.
I noticed na you're not into the color stuff.
No, I just want it to be like more simple and more on the line work rather than full.
Okay. Would you put a Thomas tat?
He actually joked about that today. He's like, you should get a Thomas tattoo. I was like, nope, never.
You really said nope, never?
I said nope, never.
What if he gets a Dey Rose tattoo? What would you say? Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'll probably use like, oh, that's nice of you. Thank you.
So, okay, now things are going great. 2020. Yes. We are actually in the middle of the first month past the middle of the first month of the year 2020 while doing this podcast. I want you to be back here, but what do you think is going to happen in the next few months?
It's going to be very busy for sure when I get home. Other than working a lot.
You still have a day job?
Night job.
Night job.
Yeah.
You still have a night job?
Yeah, so I work at nighttime, and then I'm a freelancer, so I usually people contact me for gigs if I want to work them, and then so it gives me I can choose my own schedule. Nice. So it also gives me an opportunity to travel and do my music.
I hope you're not expensive because Intro Voice will be in Canada in May. I mean,
no, not for you guys especially. So let me know.
Because
that would be fun.
It is going to be fun because our sound guy, we traveled with our sound guy Julian Cook, but 2 weeks ago, Aaron, you know Julian, right? He had his kidney installed. So, congratulations on the new kidney. He got it from Amazon. No, just
I got that.
You got that joke?
I know Amazon.
Yes. Actually, he got it from his wife.
Oh, okay.
His wife gave him the other kidney. So, and this is serious because now the wife is not working. and Julian is not working, so both of them are at home.
Yeah.
And so that's sad, diba? But they have a GoFundMe. I'll put that GoFundMe on the description also. So if you guys want to help Julian cook, who will be doing our sound for our tour, and hopefully you can join us also. That would be nice.
I'll be there for sure. Like
Sige,
I'll
sige.
be around in Vancouver.
Yun, no? Para masaya.
Just let me know.
I will.
Even if I'd love to see you guys play too, or just say hi and hang out.
I might not even be talking about Vancouver, because in May we will be in Alberta.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna talk to the guys to see if we can fly you to Alberta. Just to help Julian, kasi bago pa lang yung kidney niya, and you've had your kidneys for
For 26
for 26 years. His kidney is new, so maybe
Sounds good.
we could make an arrangement for that. So you'll be busy with your night job and then promoting Puzzle Piece.
Yeah, Puzzle Piece, and also I have looking into releasing another single maybe beginning of March.
Right.
And then working on an EP that will hopefully be released by middle of the year.
Is Clem going to release this in the Philippines?
Yeah, worldwide.
Worldwide. Nice. Will there be a physical copy or just streaming?
We'll be working on that. Yeah, for the EP itself, there's going to be physical copies.
Now, are you selling merchandise on your website?
We're working on that right now also.
Good. Good. And you're getting the biggest part of the profit, I would assume.
I don't really know how that works.
Well, we'll talk offline, but it has to be that. I'll probably do a podcast on how that works, because I really believe the artist, you in this case, should be making the biggest piece of the pie. I really believe that. Mark my words when I say that. Don't be shy to actually tell them I should be making the biggest piece, because I am the person that you guys are selling.
Yeah. I definitely need to learn more about that stuff, but also at the same time, like Paul and Kuya Clem are the type of people that I also trust, and they're really pro artists. Good. They also believe in the same thing. They believe that the artist, especially Kuya Clem, that's why he started the whole Lily Star Records, because he really believes that the artist should be getting more.
Kudos to Clem. I think they're coming to the States also. Alam ko, Canada, like you mentioned, Canada nga this year, di ba?
In March, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's good. So, I'll see more of you. I enjoyed this podcast. Any advice for our listeners, like who are aspiring?
I would say my biggest thing for me that's worked for me lately is to just don't be afraid to say yes to almost anything. Kasi you never know who you're gonna meet. You never know what opportunities you're gonna get. So just keep saying yes and follow your guts, and don't be afraid to just take any opportunities. And if it takes you away from home, that's okay, because the worst thing that can happen is you don't like it. If you don't like it, you can always go back home and stop doing it. But just and also with music, I would, because there was a time where I kind of had the thought of, make music, and I was like, oh, I'm going to make money off of it. For a little bit, like I was around that thought, but eventually I said, you know what? No, like making music shouldn't be about where you're going to go with it. It should be about what you're really putting out there. And for me, if I can make at least one person feel how I'm feeling while I'm singing the song that I wrote, then that's more than anything that I can ask for. So, make music to inspire other people.
Yun.
Yes. Yeah, and make them feel something, whether it's good or bad. Like any emotions is an emotion. So,
thank you, Dey.
Thank
Dey
you
Rose.
for having me.
Thank you, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Dey Rose.
Thank you.
We'll see you on the next podcast. By the way, please don't forget to follow, subscribe, comment, share, and help the community grow, because the more we are here, the more people will take us seriously. But thank you very much. Thank you, Dey. Appreciate it.
Thank you po.
Okay na eh. Nagpo pa eh.
Can you add that? Yeah.
Ilalagay ko yun.